Teenager Nancy Thompson must uncover the dark truth concealed by her parents after she and her friends become targets of the spirit of a serial killer with a bladed glove in their dreams, in which if they die, it kills them in real life. A Nightmare on Elm Street is up next on Inside Movies. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Inside Movies. My name is George Michail. I'm a comic book maker, and today I am joined by novelist Andrew Buckley, the editor-in-chief of Merc Publishing. Oh, wake up, Murphey! Wake up! And writer-illustrator GMB CHOMICHUK. Awesome. Let's get into A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is part of our Halloween month, where we've also reviewed Friday the 13th, Child's Play, and then next week we're doing the OG John Carpenter's Halloween. So let's get into the good. What do we like about A Nightmare on Elm Street?
I love this. It's definitely my favorite classic horror series. The death scenes in this are so outlandish and ridiculous, and I love them. And then just Freddy himself, I feel like, the nails on the chalkboard is such a thing that everyone understands, it just being the sound that just gets into your bones, and they do that through the entire movie, and I think it just lands.
Yeah, absolutely agree with Murphy. There's so many inventive kills in this. It's not even just a person is killed on screen. Johnny Depp is sucked into a bed, and then a blood fountain rises and coats the ceiling. This is some next level surrealistic horror stuff. It's amazing. I'm amazed.
Did we watch the same movie? I'm so confused. We watched the same thing with the clawy guy with the dirty sweater. Is that what we watched? It was fucking stupid.
What?
Save it, sir. You save it.
Sorry, the good. Let me go with the good. Good. It's a good bad. How can some of the effects be so damn good? The wall pushing thing where he looks like he's coming through, so good. The gaze for blood, the room twisting, combined with stupid shit of his hands extending out that looked so crappy. Why?
I'm gonna order you an animatronic tongue phone and send it to you for Christmas, and it's going to only when I call will the tongue come out.
Yeah, I think the concept is just so cool, right? Like a killer that stalks you in your dreams, and what happens to you in your dreams happens in real life. And yes, those kills, the first kill where the girl is flying around in her room and she's getting all ripped up and cut up. I don't even know how they did it, but
I know how they did it. They rotated the room. The room's upside down.
Quite literally, yeah.
Yeah, they had a room that rotated. That's also how they did the blood geyser, is they could rotate the room. And apocryphally, I don't know, Andrew's usually the details guy on this, so you can confirm or deny it. But what I read about was that a bunch of people almost got really badly hurt during that blood geyser scene, because when they filled the set with all the fluid for the blood and then spun the set, it kept spinning, and there were crew on it when it kept spinning. So, some people almost got very badly injured in the making of this movie about people getting very badly injured. So, art imitating life, I guess.
Another one that I've got. So I was a 15-year-old emo kid, so of course I had an obsession with Johnny Depp, and this was his first role ever. Johnny Depp was in a band, and that's what he wanted to do. He only wanted to do music. He just wanted to do music. He dropped out of high school. He went to LA, and he was just trying to play music. He wasn't getting popular. He was completely broke, and his one of his close friends, Nicolas Cage, said, "Hey, there's a part that they're trying to fill in this movie. I know you need the money. Just do it." And he went and he auditioned, and they gave him the role. And I think he did a fantastic job in this. So much so that I have a question for you guys. So every other teenager in this movie is talking about their dreams and have admitted to it. And he's the only one that doesn't say it. But I think that there's a little bit of a question there on whether or not he was having the dreams, because obviously Freddy does get him. So is he just trying to be like strong and to like, you know, be courageous so that his girlfriend doesn't feel scared? Like, I think he did a great job, and I think this was a perfect role to kind of shoot him off into the stardom that he obviously went on to.
To address what you're talking about there, I think the missing piece in his character is probably connected to scenes that are missing for all of them. I don't know if you guys know this, and if anybody knows in the comments can prove this, but I heard and read a few different reviewers and people say that there are lost scenes that say that every one of those characters had a younger sibling that was killed originally by Freddy, and that's why they're all being targeted. You know, their parents, the parents of the dead kids kill Freddy, and then Freddy comes back to get revenge on their new children. But most of those siblings got left on the cutting room floor. That whole B storyline. So maybe the bit with him is left there too.
I think that concept came into play in later movies. I seem to remember something being referenced, and for some reason I've seen more of the later Freddy movies, which I actually really like, than I have this first one. But I seem to recall that story coming up before.
In the good, like, I think some of these visuals are just like amazing. Like the claw coming out of the bathtub is like haunting, and also like Freddy like coming in over the bed. Like these are all just like kind of practical things, but they stick with you. They get in your brain like almost 40 years later, and you're like, geez, this is awesome. Freddy's my favorite horror villain. I like the wisecracking and pure evil nature of him. He's really enjoying what he's doing, and it's unnerving. And the fact that you can't just get away from him because he'll get you while you're sleeping is just, it's scary.
Well, it takes away your safe place. And I think that is the hallmark of a great horror movie, is they can get you where you feel safe and take that away, because that's where you will be most frightened, because you have nowhere to go. I just think it's a genius concept. I totally agree with you. My last good is I love the ending, because it's so cheesy when she says, I just have to not believe in you and you can't hurt me. And then she comes out and they're all in the car, and then they're gonna go off, and then the top comes down and it's Freddy's striped sweater, and they drive off into the evil sunset. I love that ending. There's no hope. You're all fucked, as it should be.
I do like Freddy winning. I will tell you, when that thing comes up and the stripes of his sweater on there, hilarious. Very Beetlejuice vibes there too, also. But
oh yeah.
Great.
Out of all the movies that we've watched for Halloween month, Heather Langenkamp's Nancy is my favorite hero. I liked where she's like, I'm into survival, and she's reading up on the like how to make booby traps and stuff like that, and she goes Home Alone or Dutch or John Rambo, however you want to say it. She goes and like has a plan on how she's going to take out this killer, and I think that's really cool.
Tina coming back in like the hallway and in the body bag, and it was so creepy. I think that was really, really well done. It was a good way to like show how her friend was just quickly being pulled into madness.
Yeah, and my last good thing too would be the secret lives of parents. That's one of the things I liked about this movie, is that it's predicated on some actions of characters that are essentially absent from the film, and then the sins of the parents are foisted upon the children. So I do think Freddy deserved it, though.
And speaking of horror and kids, Hair in All the Wrong Places is being re-released. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, my werewolf series. The first book in my werewolf series is getting a re-release October 31st for Halloween with a brand new cover. You can grab that on Amazon. So if you're into creepy werewolf things that go up in the night sort of things, you look for a good read for your teenager. It's a fun little adventure story with lots of creepy werewolf eating other werewolves action kind of thing. It's a terrible description of my book, but yeah, you should check it out.
All right, let's get into the bad. What do we not like about A Nightmare on Elm Street?
He's got these dream powers. There's all these crazy, weird kills. But he also has one of the most iconic weapons in horror franchise history, the crazy knife hand. I just wanted some contrivance for it always to be the knife hand to be the final killing instrument. That it's a tiny little nitpick, related to that, but it's so cool. I wanted more of it on screen.
Do they do they ever say it's on Elm Street? Is there any reference to Elm Street?
They show
Ever?
they show the street sign.
Are you sure? Because I looked for it. I couldn't find the damn thing.
Okay, you came in hot here with this. I don't like this movie, and then
Oh, do you want more? I got more.
No, but you got attention to detail. Please eviscerate Andrew in the comments with the time where we see Elm Street.
If the sign is there, I apologize. My biggest issue with this is it's two biggest issues. It's arbitrary. The rules are arbitrary. All right, he kills people in dreams, or he injures them in dreams. But if you bring him back with you, then you can kill him, which is completely disproven because she doesn't do that, and she's still in the dream at the end, and he still gets her. So what are the fucking rules around this guy? It's just all over the place. I like set rules for horror movies, and this one did not have set rules. That irritated me.
yeah, but I like just to jump in here, Andrew, like because this is so much around dreams, I think that the narrative can be a bit more abstract, and it doesn't have to be totally linear, and it can be a bit more fun than that way.
Sure, if it's more back and forth, and it actually makes sense in that way. But it was all a dream trope. They went to that well again and again and again till the very last scene, and you're still like, well, is she in the dream? Is she not in the dream? It's
Ring. Your tongue phone is ringing, Andrew. Ring. You should answer it.
It's just Greg again. It's okay. I don't need to get it.
Ring.
I'll say one of mine on the bad things is this is one of those movies about teenagers where all of the parents are either dumb or assholes.
Yeah.
And it's like I think my main one is
point. I'll defend as a person who grew up with 80s parents around 80s parents everywhere. I think that's a pretty documentary level truth.
Well, my favorite one is at the end when she's breaking windows and the cop across the street knows that the father of the girl is inside the house, and he has said, "Come and get me if you see anything fishy." And he sees her breaking windows, and it takes the second window for him to go, maybe I should tell him that.
All right. I cede all of my previous comments to Murphy. She is right. That is pretty dumb.
I found like the mom, like she's supposed to be an alcoholic and she's always walking around with a bottle, but I never really found her to feel like she was intoxicated at all throughout the movie. It didn't read for me. And also like the way that she dies, like kind of going more into that abstract stuff, is like in the story, Nancy gets Freddy and then brings him into the real world. And then he kills her through like putting in this like hell portal into like her bed. Just didn't really make any sense.
Well, George, it's all about dreams, you see, and you can have no rules when it's all about dreams. So that's
Ring.
Shut the fuck up.
Ring. Ring.
I'm not justifying that with an answer. The other thing did no one find the third act pacing to be super slow?
No.
Except for the moment when she tells her dad to come wake her up in 20 minutes, and then she spends an hour making booby traps. Yeah. That part I was like, all right, come on. Totally pulled me out.
I think that was the part, because I was watching with my kids and we're just kind of sitting there going, when is this gonna end? Like, when's the final confrontation happening? Like, there's a lot of time spent like, wake me up in a little while, and then making booby traps, and then smashing windows through the thing, and cops just, like you say, just stand there like, I wonder why she's smashing the windows over there. Like, it was just too slow for that. I was probably realistic. It was only like 10 minutes, but it felt like forever.
No, not for me. I love this movie. But my least favorite part of this movie is the ending, which we already kind of touched upon, but it's stupid and it kind of like undermines what's happened already, and I don't like it at all. The car eating the kids is just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's the part about this that's stupid. You're right.
Just the one thing.
Okay, let's get into the skinny. Let's give our final grades for Nightmare on Elm Street. I'll go first. I'm gonna go super high on this one. I'm going A. This is one of the greatest horror movies of all time, in my opinion. Wes Craven gave us a horror icon in Freddy Krueger, but it's his combination of killer concept combined with excellent execution and incredible visuals that put A Nightmare on Elm Street a cut above the rest in the genre.
Well, I see what you did there, George. I
Cut
see what
above
you
the
did there.
rest.
I would give Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street 4 out of 5 knife fingers, or maybe 3 fingers and 1 thumb of knives. I think it's very inventive. It sort of subverts some of the genre elements that we were used to in horror movies at the time. And man, blood fountain to the ceiling. Whoa.
I will give it 2
Ring.
2 fountains of blood out of 5 because I can't get past the dream bullshit side of it. While it was a great concept and it's a classic, that's why it gets 2. Should have got 1, but I'm giving it 2 because it's a classic and it's Wes Craven.
Ring.
This is getting 1.2 out of 1.5 gallons of blood in the human body. Great actors, great casting, great fucking villain. Love this movie forever.
All right, that's going to do it for another episode of Inside Movies. Go and check out Hair in All the Wrong Places. There's a link to where you can go and buy that in the description of this video. Until next time, I've been George Michail, joined by Andrew Buckley, Murphy, just let her sleep, and GMB CHOMICHUK. Follow along with us on our Facebooks, our Instagrams, our Twitters, all those in the description of this video as well. And until next time, peace.